administration continued to use insurrection because they're anxious to use it. He announced that he was going to be sending troops into San Francisco next, which means Oakland. Other people have been talking about the stockpile of military down in LA, and they're preparing to raid Santa Ana, which is a primarily Hispanic community. But for the Insurrection Act, which would allow him to suspend posse comitatus, which is you're prohibited from using the military on the citizens of the United States unless there's some sort of emergency or insurrection. So when they call insurrection, that just means that they're allowing the military to come in. When the military takes over, that's martial law. Now, not every place is going to have martial law. You won't even necessarily feel it. It'll be where the resistance is. So what can you expect under martial law? I did a broader video about martial law. It's on my page, but here it is in a nutshell. Civil liberties will be suspended. Curfews. You'll see military presence. There'll be restrictions on communications, arrests and detentions by the military, transportation restrictions, temporary closures of businesses, and the most important is suspension of habeas corpus, due process rights. You'll be under military tribunal law, and the local police will report into the military and take orders from the military. So what should you do? Stay low profile. Make sure you verify with multiple sources that you have martial law called. Local news will be giving you highlights of it. You can come here to TikTok. People will be reporting it. Define the area that the martial law applies to. It generally will not apply to an entire city because they don't have enough resources for that. This will be a game of manpower, and they will allocate manpower where they need it the most. Let's call it an epicenter. So you're going to understand what the rules are, the curfews are, and you're going to try to meet it and stay low profile. If the curfew is everybody must be in at 8 o'clock p.m., you'll be in at 8 o'clock p.m. In some cases, it can be strict enough where they're not allowing any movement around without a pass. Usually passes are given to essential workers, doctors, hospitals, city kind of maintenance, grocery stores, things like that. But this is where you would be bugging in and using your supplies because you prepared and you stored up. You're also going to make sure the people around you, your neighbors, people in your same apartment complex, etc., know what's going on, and you're going to check on the elders in your community and make sure they're okay. If there's a reaction from the community, they may go into lockdown. And if they do, they're going to order everybody to stay in their homes. Again, you're going to be fine because you prepared. When it's a lockdown, things can escalate really quickly, so it's not the time to get out and to challenge. If you do have to move, you have to move around covertly. And so hopefully you know what you're doing when you do it, because you will be met with military and law enforcement that won't take kindly to your resistance. You are going to absolutely hide your firearms and your jewelry. There are no civil rights, and there are no things like warrants under martial law. So if they want to come in, they're coming in. A heavily armed military is going to come in, and if they want to take something from your home, they're going to take it. Now, it's important to pay attention to how they're moving. To the extent that you can, watch the watchers. It will give you a clue of whether they are operating within the law or not, if they have integrity or not. So you're going to watch their demeanor, watch how they deal with people in the community. The longer martial law drags on, the more likely it is that people begin to operate outside of the bounds of, how do I say this? Well, let's just say that they'll abuse their power. And if that happens, then you got to look at my protection video, protection number 2. All right, thanks.